So on 18, these are in standard form. So you got to rewrite them in slope-intercept form to graph them. So all we got to do in both of them is move the x over. So this is y is less than, that would change to negative x plus 4. Do the same thing here, it'd be y is greater than negative x minus 2. Okay, so when you graph these, this one crosses at 4. It's got a slope of negative, so everyone knows what that means, right? Down 1 over 1. You just put a 1 over 1 there. So you can go down 1 over 1. You can keep doing that if you want to get it straight. Solid or dotted? Dotted. And then you got a shade. Y is less than. So if you go to where it crosses the y-axis, less than is down, so you shade less than. This one crosses at negative 2. The slope is also negative 1. So you do the same thing, so the lines are what? Parallel. This one is also dotted. But this one says y is greater than. So it's shaded above. So can you see where it's going to be shaded by both? Right in between. Because this one is less than, this one is greater than, so they intersect. Everything in between. Huh?
How are you going to know when you correct these with all the
I know, they're hard to correct.
Yeah.
Make sure when you shade it, yeah, like Harrington just said, make sure I can tell which one is the, so kind of fill that part in a little better. That way I can tell where it's shaded. Okay, 19. Okay, so on 19 and 20, it looks like none of these they wrote in slope-intercept form for you. So all of these you're going to have to get the y by itself. So you move this over and it's y is less than or equal to negative x plus 6. So when you graph that one, it crosses at positive 6. It's got a slope of negative 1 over 1, so you go down 1 over 1. This one does have the equal in it, so it's a solid line. And y is less than, so it's shaded below. You can maybe just draw an arrow too to help remember, or lightly shade it. So then, x is greater than or equal to 1, crosses the x-axis at 1. So all of these you see are solid lines. It's greater than, so that's everything to the right. So right now this part is shaded. And then the last one is y is greater than 0. So that crosses the y-axis at 0. So that's that line. Greater is shaded up. So the part that's shaded by everything is that triangle right there. Okay, on 20, again, just like the rest of these, you gotta get the y by itself. So you move that over, the y is less than, this would change to -3/2 x plus 3. Remember when you get down to here, you gotta move the x over and then divide everything by -2. Forgot to remind you this. Remember in these, if you ever divide by a negative, you remember what you gotta do?
Swap sign.
Switch the direction of the sign. It looks like that one and this one are the only two you're gonna have to do that to. Okay, so when we graph this one, it crosses at 3. It's got a slope of -3/2. So down 3 over 2. That one is dotted. Now, remember what this means if x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0? That means it's this quadrant. The only thing we got to do here is, since it is just greater than, they're both dotted. So this is where it helps having a colored pencil, because you got to put dotted in here. So we know that this means it's this quadrant. This one y is less than, so it's below. So the part that's shaded is that triangle right there.
So do we have to have all the other lines, so, or can we just fill in?
I can kind of tell where the shade is. I can figure out.
So we can just color in the middle part?
Yeah,
Okay.
but try to put in the dotted lines there if you can.
Yeah.
If it's like these, then it doesn't matter. See here, they're all solid lines.
Does that looks better?
Yeah.